What's up? I'm Eugenius, and we're here at Seasick Records. Today I'm actually speaking with Malik. Malik is an individual who is HIV positive, and so we're gonna actually speak with him today. He's gonna share his story with us and hopes to inspire all of us to actually go get tested, find out your status, and proceed with life, whether negative or positive. So Malik, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me today.
So if you would like to start first, just to tell a little bit about yourself, and I have a few questions that we can.
My name is Malik. I'm from Birmingham.
Okay.
I like to think of myself as a native. I found out I was HIV positive when I was 19. Shortly after graduating high school, I was in my freshman year in college, and I got a call from the health department prompting me to go get tested. They said someone had came in and, tested positive for HIV, and I should probably get tested too. So that's how I initially got tested. Prior to then, I wasn't one to I wasn't running to get tested. It really was something that I feared because all of the stigma and, the misconceptions of HIV.
Was there any symptoms or signs that you were showing that you may recall at that time or anything?
Really not right off. Looking back at it after I digest everything, a few months prior to me getting that call, I went into the hospital because I was getting real sick, and I never get sick. I can't even remember the last time I was in the hospital as a kid. And I was staying in Huntsville at the time, and I was trying not to go to the hospital. I ended up going to the emergency room, and they said that, I had the flu. And I proceeded as, I had the flu. I didn't get a HIV test because you have to actually ask. I don't think they just, test you when you go into the emergency room. I think they're starting to do it now, especially here in Alabama, but that was something you had to ask. And I just, went on. I got my flu medicine, and I got better. Looking back at it now, since that was a few months prior to that, I think though I was seeing symptoms, but I took it as something else. So I thank God for our health department and their, and their promptness, and they really try to get in contact with those individuals. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have got tested.
You mentioned that you got tested due to the health department calling you. Tell me how that process actually worked with them reaching out to you, since that's what prompted you to get tested originally.
I went in and I got tested, and I remember it was a Friday, and I had to wait over the course of the weekend. So Monday afternoon around 4, right before the health department closed, and I was calling them because I hadn't heard anything. And the guy was like, yeah, Malik, maybe you need to come back in. And I'm like, well, I don't have any transportation, tell me what I need to know now. He told me, he was like, you tested positive for HIV, and you got to come back so we could do some more tests and stuff. Immediately when I was hanging up the phone with him, my mom was coming in, and that was the first person I told, and we cried. But after we got over that moment, it was like, what's the next step? What do we need to do now? And she was kind of that pushing force that's keeping me pushing now, so yeah.
With the treatment process, describe your treatment regimen. Well, first, before we go there, it is treatable. It's not curable, meaning you can't get rid of it, but treatable meaning you'll live a long and normal lifespan with it. So I think that's an important point to cover. And with it being treatable, what are some of the things that your treatment actually includes?
I was on 1 pill once a day for my HIV. In the beginning, I used to have these, I don't know, it's weird, these crazy side effects. But over the course of time, that shortly weared off. And what was amazing about the medicine I started on my birthday, and I was going in like every other month for a doctor's appointment. By the time that I went in the next time for my doctor's appointment, virus was undetectable. I had an undetectable viral load, and my T cell count was way higher than it had been. It was like 17 when we started this process. So to see like that medicine really, works and so quick, that was amazing. And it made me want to get, involved more in my treatment as far as just learning like what's going on with the medicine I'm taking and what's going on in my body and stuff.
With actually, getting to a better physical status after taking your medicine and all, I did mention you wanted to get more involved with what was going on. What made you so comfortable with putting it online, and how was the reaction when you proceeded with doing so?
During this process, when I found out, I remember being in a doctor's appointment at the Jefferson, at the health department, and they asked me, did I want to go to counseling and stuff, and I was like, most people, be like, oh, I ain't going to counseling, it's crazy. I mean, I did decline the counseling, but I felt like I needed to talk to some individuals that were actually experiencing what I was getting ready to experience, because this is early on in the process. So I ended up finding these people through social media, through my Twitter, through my Instagram, through my Facebook, people that were already open and communicating their HIV status. So I talked with these people for months on end, and different people from all over the country. And a year to the date that I found out, I posted a status and a picture on Instagram, saying that I'm HIV positive. And the response was like, I remember first, it was like the first few messages in my inbox, it was like, is your page hacked? Are you okay? Like people was like, couldn't believe that clearly someone is playing with your page. Like, do you know your page is hacked? I think that was like the first couple of messages. And then I think it's amazing what you're doing. It was like a lot of positive messages. Even under the status, it was like a lot of positivity, and people took it better than how I would have figured. And to an extent, it made me feel like, why didn't I do this a year ago? At that point, I wasn't, ready. I had to learn about HIV myself and become comfortable. It's like you have to become comfortable within your skin all over again. So I had to go through that process.
Well, after all of the phone calls, the messages, when all of that settled, actually it took a turn for you being able to use that to help people. And that got you into being an activist for HIV, as well as having your own programs going on now. So what are some things that you're doing to help now that, you've become a figure of, this particular topic when it's such a sensitive one?
When I shared my status, I began to realize it was such a big need for this topic to be talked about, especially here in Birmingham, especially here in Alabama, especially here in the South. So a lot of those messages, of appreciation, and those messages turned into, people just wanting to talk and ask questions about HIV. I feel like people started to come to me because they felt more comfortable talking to an individual about a topic that people always talk about, in dark, but they felt more comfortable because I guess I'm a person. I'm not as intimidating as, a doctor's office. So I saw the need that wow, we need to talk about this subject more. So that drove me to volunteering. I started volunteering at the Elite Project, which is a drop-in MSM center here in Birmingham. And volunteering led to a position, and the position led to me working on this national campaign called Speak Out with Greater Than AIDS, the Speak Out campaign. And that experience changed my life because they brought, I went to DC, Washington, DC for the 25 Under 25 conference. And basically it was 25 young men selected from across the country to come to this table to discuss HIV. And it was so impactful for me because it was like, wow, I'm not alone in this. And these people from all over the country, New Jersey, Chicago, LA, Texas, everywhere. I was, the one who held it down for Alabama. And it was amazing seeing all these individuals who were as passionate about, just helping people and helping their community.
So before we go, we just want to make sure that we mention that you should definitely go get tested.
And get educated.
I mean, it's important. Life continues. So again, I'm Eugenius.
And I'm Malik.
Peace. Eugenius, Neutron, Pharaoh's Gold. Sweet home Alabama, rolls of that red clay. Roll tide roll, but the blood of the slaves fertilized the roots from the trees which we hang. Alex Haley's truth left a splinter in my brain. Traded in my wood grain for some all gold frames. Gold chain, gold rings, thinking about gold fangs. All gold everything except the all gold watch. My time could never be measured by tick nor tock. They put life on a clock, mine's on the hourglass. I never really know the speed of that falling sand, so I'm trying not to waste none of this sand in my hand and build a pyramid from all the sand I have. Would you understand if it's built from top to bottom? Can you find the deep flows in my hollow column? Is my architecture too complex for the knowledge if I took it from religion to the astronomics? My kings and queens was overseas chilling in they gold, but we can't recall their names. King James is all we know. If I ain't had so many sins, I'd probably cast the first stone, then beam Paula Dean, because she don't know nothing about my goal. But I can't judge, so I let it go. In God we trust, and we buy gold. My peace, the only Jesus peace that I'll ever carry, as long as God's sun shining on my 24 carats. Because back when Fabulous rocked the chain with two tones, we heard it was some things better than silver and gold. We thought that they was talking about the platinum and stones, then 50 Cent came along and spent his charm too long. See, hypnotized minds with the sight of the bling. Get rich or die trying to PIMP, but what about our queens? Well, here's a TIP. Just keep your hustle grand, KING. And you should do such even when there's no one else around, because they're going to see you as a hoodlum when they look you up and down. Carry on, herringbone, teeth glowing with a smile, because your skin is made of gold and that has just your crown. I know they make you feel like you never had nothing. So when we get a little something, we be stunting. So shine on them haters if them haters gone, hey, even the slaves had chains. It's just a little gold on the Pharaoh. I'm all that I am, and the Pharaoh has my facial features. Nobody knows the truth. That's what they hate to teach us. Peace.